Got drinks, got smoke, got weed, got all the girls, got everything we need. And I see them all, but who brought the fat girl? Drink another, smoke another, get retarded. I know this where the party is, so get this bitch started. And if you want some liquor, girl, you can go and lick a girl. Get in it, pop till like 6 in the morning. Come break it down.
What's up, Chewinis?
Yo,
What's going on? What's going on?
How you guys doing? You guys
Not
got
too
to carry
bad.
me a little bit because I'm not feeling good. So
How come?
you-
What's wrong?
I don't know. I think you
You
guys
got an
got me
amoeba
sick.
eating brain virus?
Oh, Jesus.
No, when you guys came over here, you got me sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? You got that beer flu or what?
You guys brought the coronavirus with you.
Nah, I think it's those beans my mom made for you, bro.
literally,
Yeah, a little
literally.
extra sauce in there or something.
Yeah, that's all protein.
Dude, don't
right
even
there.
say that, because, dude, every time I come in contact with someone that says that they feel sick, then I start feeling sick psychologically. Then I gotta lock in.
bro.
Yeah, you're
lock
sick, all right.
Wow, sick in the head, huh?
You've been sick psychologically. What are you talking about?
Hey,
Trip.
hey, at least we're not sexually deviant. Like, oh, we didn't tell you.
Wait, what?
Tell him that.
I
Okay,
didn't tell you,
here's-
man. I'll
The
tell
hell
him the
happened?
story.
Okay.
All right. So I took my mom and Daniel. It's the day you left. I took my mom and Daniel to a thrift store, right? I forgot what it was called, but we won't mention the name so we don't put them on
I don't know. You
blast.
guys are a damn thrift store. Weird people there. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
We like to find weird stuff, but
Yeah.
anyway, so I had left Danny and my mom, and I was looking at the paintings on the wall. So I went around the store, and I was passing by the kids section, and I saw a guy down the aisle that was acting like suspicious. His behavior just was out of the norm. And you know what I do for a living? I spot that right away. So I was like,
All right.
okay, I'm like, is this guy stealing or something? So I kind of like tucked my head into the aisle, and dude is just standing there with his dick out.
What the fuck? Are you
Bro,
serious?
yeah, he had his dick out. And I was like, what the fuck is this guy looking at? And then I looked down the aisle in front of him, and there's a girl just looking through clothes. I mean, she wasn't a minor. She had to be in her 20s or something. But still,
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, seriously, like, I was contemplating, like, my brain was running a bunch of scenarios, right? Like, do I just clock this fool while he's standing there? You know, do I yell at him? But I was like, nah, I'm not trying to get in trouble, you know, go to jail for, you know, some
Right, get
stupid
arrested.
shit.
Yeah,
He didn't,
exactly.
he didn't do nothing to me or whatever. So I went to the front of the store, and I told an employee, I'm like, hey, like, there's a dude back there that had his dick out when I walked by, and he was looking at a girl. Like, you guys need to go do something. She's
That's
like,
so
okay,
fucking-
let me get the manager. So then I went back there to point him out. By then he already had his shit up, but he was still standing there like looking at the girl. And he walks
Right.
towards the back of the store, and then I guess they got like 5 employees that work there, like all dudes, and they all go
Yeah.
back there, and they're like, hey man, you got to leave the store. He's like, why? He's like, we saw what you fucking did, dude. We saw what you were doing. Like, you need to leave the store. And he didn't even argue it. He was just like,
Yeah.
oh, all right. And he put his stuff down, and he fucking walked out of the store.
Jesus.
But
What?
I was
I'm
like,
telling you, this fucking world is going bananas, bro.
I was
Las
like, what
Vegas sex demons.
the fuck did I just walk into, dude? I was like, dude, if that was like, you know, say my niece or my sister that he was looking at, oh no, for sure. Like,
That's
I would
fucking
just like,
instant violence. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I mean,
I would've
you know, I don't know.
I would have just blindsided him, like, bat, put him to sleep. That was disgusting, though. And like,
And I
don't
couldn't,
know.
I couldn't believe it, because when you came up to me, he had a face, but it was like like he was stealing. His Beto's like trying to tell me that some guy was, or I thought something was happening where like beefing it, or like, you know, some guy was tripping out or something.
Right.
And then he said the whole dick shit. So I was like, holy shit, dude! I've never. Like what last week we were just talking about the fucking the guy jerking off and fucking putting semen on a woman's leg, you know.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
like,
that's right, yeah.
so we were just talking about this. So I had that shit in my head, and I was like, dude, what the fuck, man? And previous that, well, we had another incident at the
Remember at
Vegas,
Fremont?
old
Remember at
Vegas.
Fremont? Yeah, the
Yeah.
dude guy was taking out his
But-
dick, but he was
but-
drunk though. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
Still,
yeah.
that's no excuse.
Still,
Yeah, yeah.
but I was like, and then so I go walk over there and see if he's got still got his dick out. And I go see,
Yeah,
and
take a
then
little peep or what? The fuck?
and then I go walk over there, and I just see a guy, and he looked like fucking the most like fucking who's wearing like sports attire. He looked like his kids did baseball. I don't know. He had. You wouldn't think that, you know. He didn't look like, I guess, quote unquote
Like
a bum or something
or a
like that.
pervert or I
Yeah,
don't know,
or
yeah.
Well, what do they look like?
Yeah.
And it goes to show that they're
Who
fucking.
knows? Yeah.
They're all shapes and
They
sizes.
walk among us.
Yes.
They walk among these sick
Fuck
fucking
yeah.
people, man. I'm telling you, that's why you got to keep your guard up all the time. You got to, watch your P's and Q's and you be aware of your surroundings because they're fucking out there, man. Then that's not a good thing.
Yeah,
And a
that
lot of
shit was
times they're just
fucking
looking like normal
disturbing.
people.
It was so
And-
fucking disturbing.
And like we were, I was joking about it after, but still, man, it's like you can literally, you're not that you're not safe anywhere, but like also like as a community, what are you gonna do? Fucking stomp on the guy, and then all of a sudden, like the cameras are there, nobody saw that his dick was out, and you know how lawyers are these days, man. You know,
Yeah, that's why
so it's like,
that's why I
dude.
didn't react, because I said if
Yeah.
this building doesn't have cameras and it's my say versus his say, he could have just said,
Right.
"Oh, it was my phone," or "You're tripping, it was something else," and I'm like, "Nah, I
Yes,
know what I
dude.
saw." But I think they addressed it appropriately. Shout out to that
Yeah.
store. They addressed it. They kicked him
Yeah.
out. They didn't call the cops. But then again, it's he or she say, "Oh, he
Yeah.
did this." Well, do you got it on camera or not? No. I didn't even think about taking out my camera at the time. I just thought about like resolving the situation. Like fuck this.
Right.
You know.
Did that girl notice or no?
No,
No, she didn't. She
the
had her
whole
back
time.
to she had her back
Oh.
to him the whole time. She was just shuffling through the clothes, and
But
that's what.
anybody
That's
let her
what's,
know or no?
No,
that's what's
no, I
scary.
didn't
No,
feel like
no. I
letting
mean,
her know. But like
I
I
mean,
because I was so
yeah.
shocked, bro. Like I was really shocked to the point that I wasn't even thinking. Like I was just trying to make sense of all of it, and then well, my mom was in the store. I just wanted to make sure that she was on the other side,
Right.
And then after that, I was just like, just kind of staring at him, and as he was walking out, like getting the notion of seeing someone lie or without not lie, but with um they find themselves in shame and they can't deny it. So you see how they're lying, or they haven't fully accepted that that's what they're doing out there, and they've gotten to an extent where they're masturbating in public. That's fucked, dude.
Yeah, like
Man.
how do you get to that extent? Like what's wrong with you, mentally?
Well, there was a video I saw on Instagram where they call this guy out. I guess he was supposed to meet a 15-year-old or something like that, and they videotaped him, and the guy slapped him. And he called him out, and he told him, "What the fuck are you doing? You gonna meet some 15-year-old here?" And he just kept, he's like, "No, leave him alone." And he kept like, "No, where are you going? Where are you going?" And he kept following him, and he just left after that.
Yeah.
But I mean, what do you,
I think right there
you
they
handled
got
it well, but like, geez, that's
Yeah,
it's
right
crazy.
there. I get it because it's set up. They got the
Proof.
receipts,
Yes,
Yeah,
they
they
got
got the
proof.
receipts.
They got proof.
And
Yeah,
even
man.
then, you're not supposed to do that on yourself. Like I see a lot of Instagrammers and stuff doing that shit. Like you can't be
Yeah,
doing
they
that
can-
shit by yourself, going up to people and accusing them of this, because first off, it's dangerous. Then
Yeah.
you're getting in trouble of getting sued yourself for doing shit, and then slapping people in the face. I mean, that's not. I mean, I get it. It's justified, but in the face of the law, can't do shit like that. Like I saw a
And
video
this-
where they punched an old man. There was a pedophile.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Some
and he-
cholo
and
came
it-
by, right? And he's all,
Yeah.
I think he said, "Yeah, I have a daughter," and he just fucking socked him.
Yeah, he just decked him and put him to
Right.
sleep like that. That right there,
Yeah.
that fool's gonna go to jail for that shit. I mean, was it
I
worth
don't know,
it?
man. We have to
You know,
research that, maybe
yeah.
see if he went to jail.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Wow.
And so you got your homework for next episode. Research that, see what
Jesus.
happened to that guy. But yeah, it's just a crazy world out there, man. And like you said, when you guys went to the guy was drunk in downtown Vegas, but I mean, why? Because you're drunk, that's your first instinct, take your dick out? Like that
no, no.
it just probably shows that what you want to do when you're sober, but now you're drunk enough to do it and you just whoop your dick out. Like, come on,
It just
bro.
shows
Like,
your true intentions. You know what I mean? Your deep,
Yeah.
darkest, fucking sick intentions. Yeah, it's damn. That put a knot in my stomach, man. I hope
Yeah,
I ruin
dude.
the fucking podcast.
No,
Again. Jesus.
but he was like, with the crazy part. Oh yeah, well the guy at Fremont came up and but it's just also I was reflecting right there because I was like, damn, dude, I know that I mean I didn't ever pull my dick out, but actually yeah. So I felt him, man. I related to him in a sick level.
I didn't get
No, but
that.
it
So
was-
did you pull your dick out? Did you not pull your dick out?
Yeah. I pulled my dick out, and I was on
When?
Xanax. I was on Xanax, and I was
Oh, I thought-
crossing the line. But it was like a fuck the border patrol in my head. You know, like you when you take enough Xanax, you black out.
You were crossing the line, and
Yeah,
you
yeah,
crossed the line.
yeah,
huh?
yeah,
All right.
definitely. And I was with my friend.
Sounds suspect.
Well, he's a Muslim. He's a Muslim, and
Muslim.
he was in between like going back to his religion. So he was like having a he was hanging out with me. Let's take out his name. But as he was as he was hanging out with me, I
Is
could
that his
see
real
it in his
name or
eye.
nickname?
Yeah, no, that's his real name.
Oh, okay. We'll
Yeah,
take
that's
it out.
his real name.
Go
No,
ahead.
he's Muslim. He's got family here, New Arabic and everything. They have an Arabic school here, or well, in their mosque they teach him Arabic. But he was in transition of wanting to change, his ways.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that was his fucking breaking point.
He hung out with the right
me.
person, huh?
Yeah, definitely divine intervention
For a
Hey,
good change.
We're all taking everybody somewhere,
That's
man.
right.
In this case, he was rescued by Allah back into Allah's arms, But
Oh, there you go.
Allah.
There's a good deed of the day. Huh?
yeah. He's like, yeah. He actually told my mom. He was like, he's fucking Silva. He's wilding out on the border because he would talk like in New York for some reason. I think it's the Arabic thing, but he was like, he's whipping his dick out, and he just didn't hang out with me after that.
I don't blame him, huh?
Yeah, I don't blame
He's like,
the guy.
dude, this is what you do on fucking Thursday, bro.
The guy's
What
like,
the
"This
fuck?"
I mean, holy smokes.
Thursday night. I don't even want to see what you do on a Saturday.
Yeah.
He's trying to read the Quran over here, and my brother just whipping out his
Mhm,
dick. Huh?
mhm.
Yeah, well,
What? You didn't get
Shaitan.
arrested or anything?
No. I was like, it was like walking away type deal. It's like if you moon them, but I wanted to take it up a notch. And I didn't wanna moon 'em.
Okay.
I was like,
okay.
fuck it.
I mean, I showed my
Okay.
balls once. I mean, but we were like, I was drunk, and I was, I kind of, was fucking, just wilding out, but nothing, serious.
Alright.
I mean, holy shit.
Enough of the dick showing, fellas.
Yeah,
we got a bad
please,
rap
yeah,
here.
that's
so,
it.
yeah,
Right?
we ain't helping.
Wow.
We ain't helping
We
the
started
cause
this
here.
podcast strong. Huh?
Hey,
Yeah.
at least that you do see a guy, there's a chance for him to come back in his life. Hey man, the programs work.
Not the guy that he saw. No.
Yeah.
That guy's
no
gone, dude.
comeback.
Yeah.
That guy's in.
He did it sober though.
Yeah, that's,
He did it sober.
Yeah, there you go.
yeah, that's just.
And he was jerking it. I mean, there's a difference from jerking it.
Oh, he was
Well, the
jerking
good,
it last year.
the I didn't see the jerk, but I mean, I'm sure that was his next step, or that's what he was
Stroking
doing
my
before I
shit,
got
man,
there.
just
There's no
stroking
reason
his
for you to
shit.
be standing with your wang out, just looking through the clothes,
You're already there.
Yeah.
When in Rome, right?
Hang out with your wang out. Huh?
When in fucking
Yeah.
Rome.
He took the expression literally, huh? Wow,
I'm telling you.
that's insane.
Which kind of brings us. We don't have a topic this week. We're just gonna freestyle, but which kind of brings that whole thing that we talk about to be aware of your surroundings. And girls aren't really aware of their surroundings, and sharing stuff like this, I think it makes it real, right? You just never know, bro. You're at the thrift store, looking for some bullshit little things, and some dudes in the next aisle whacking it to you. Turn around, it's okay to turn around. It's okay to look at people. Like I do that shit all the time. I look at people and I double check. I just look back. And I think we got to instill that into girls. I talked to Dom about it. She was disgusted by it. But I gotta tell her like, hey, pay attention where you're at, wherever you're at, dude. You could be at fucking, Mac makeup. You just never know. You never know who's around you. It's just something that we got to spread and got to tell these girls because it's dangerous out there, man. And this dude starts with jacking off, and then next thing he starts with kidnapping someone, and then steps it up a notch, so you just never know.
I think it's more of a male instinct as well, as protecters.
I thought you were like, I was like, it's a common male thing.
No,
You just stroke your
I
shit.
mean, be aware of your
sorry. I'm
surroundings.
sorry. Yeah.
Because when I go into a restaurant, this is more of a military thing. You try to, sit facing the entrance, try to see who's coming in, who's going out, who's around you. I tend to see, who walks behind me, because somebody can come behind and hit you and do something to you. But yes, it's more, women, I guess they kind of, tend to lack, being aware of their surroundings. And I've had to tell my wife, hey, watch out, especially when she's walking to her car, especially at night, she gets off of work. Just get in her car as soon as possible, kind of, maybe look around the car, see if anybody's following her. And as soon as she gets in her car, just lock the door and don't hang out, turn on the car and just, leave, because somebody might be, around there, and they'll go and yank on your door. And if it's open, if it's unlocked, they'll get in there. I've seen plenty of videos. So definitely, yes, be aware of your surroundings, and,
look
Yeah.
for something out of place. I think that's the
Right.
easiest
Yeah.
one. Just out of place. Like, why is this
Definitely.
guy over here? Why is this guy over here? Like, is
Yeah,
there any
why is this
cars
guy
around
in
here?
the
Why
kids'
would he?
clothes
Why would he be
section for
here?
so long? Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
Right.
yeah.
does he have a kid? Okay, but keep looking back.
Mhm.
Like, don't just put your
You
back towards
think you
someone and not look.
in
Right.
society there are these anomalies that you see that like, okay, dad, maybe he's a single dad, but typically it's going to be a woman in the kid section. Typically,
Yeah,
so
that's
like
true.
think that's like a good like a good one thing. Like, okay, it's like getting weird. I guess you have like the weird meter. I guess when I go out, I'm like looking around. That's how I look to see if there's anything weird. And then if there's anything weird, I'll just keep it in the back of your head that it's like, okay, it's acting strange.
Yeah,
Kind of like when you go to Walmart parking lot. Example, when you go to Walmart parking lot, typically the ones that are outside of the parking lot are either staying away, they're away from society or from the social areas for a reason,
Hmm.
Because maybe you want to get some sleep, maybe you want to park a little bit farther, or maybe you might be dealing drugs or that sort of thing, so like that's like an example, when you go and you could observe things like in a parking lot. It's
yeah.
an easy one.
And the
Right.
worst part is, I go back to work, and you know, I saw a guy filming girls as they were walking by. He's filming like they're behind. Like,
Italian.
I'm like, and I already saw this thing the day before, and I'm like, oh my god, like, is God testing me? Like, does He want me to do something? Do you want me to react to these people?
Hmm.
Like, God,
I,
they addressed it the best way they could. But shit like that, it happens every day. It's not the first time I've seen it at work. It's not the first case. There's actually dudes that do that. And what they do with the videos, I don't know if it's personal use or if they send it to websites or have their own website, or like those websites where people just add stuff and all perverted and
mm-hmm,
stuff like that. You just never know where that
mm-hmm.
stuff is going. It's
There's
so
some
upsetting to see dudes like that.
um and let alone upsetting, but I think you see the effects of available pornography. I think it just gone to a point where um it's not truly seen as a vice in itself. Therefore, it makes room for people to indulge in it. I think with drinking, it's said to people it's a vice. Smoking, it's said to you it's a vice. But I think like sex and masturbation and all those things aren't too like. It's like, okay, unless he's jacking off at the fucking store, then I'm gonna say he's sick. But like, there's things that you could keep hidden, and I think that also enables a
Yeah,
lot of
but
people
I
not
think
talking about it.
I think
You know.
masturbation in general is kind of like frowned upon, even though everybody does it, right? Everybody's gonna talk
Mm-hmm.
about it, but still, like, even if you get caught in
Yeah.
your own home, it's still embarrassing. It's like, oh, this dude got
Fuck, dude,
caught,
those are the
but
worst one, man.
you know
Shit.
what I'm saying? But it's
Thank God,
now in public, it's just like, oh, you risking it, my boy. You reaching now.
dude.
No, I mean
Dude, what?
that's a
That's
private thing. And why in the why are you doing it in public? You shouldn't be doing it in
yeah,
public. If you're gonna do
yeah.
it, we okay. We need. Oh, sorry. We need release. Okay, men need release. Women need release. I mean, it's natural. It's a natural part. Of our human desire. But there's responsible ways of doing it. Obviously, if can become a vice because you're disassociating yourself from interactions. Trying to get that partner or trying to have that intimacy
Yeah,
with that partner. So you just if you're constantly masturbating to pornography, I mean you do desensitize yourself. I mean to
Yeah.
to
yeah,
other humans, social interactions and things of that nature.
Shit,
So
dude.
yeah,
Let me tell you a crazy, crazy story. Okay, when I got out of rehab, so now you take away every single vice, and now what's left is the basic vices of that are still accepted, which is for me it was masturbation, and then it was cigarettes, and I was just fucking jerking it, dude. I was
jerking and
just
smoking.
was jerking
like
and smoking
crazy.
God
cigarettes, dude.
damn. Whew.
Jerking while
Fucking
smoking.
cranking it, man. Just
Jerking
and
while smoking.
Damn, my
and
boy.
and
Two for
no,
one special.
I like them separate or one
I think
after
I'm okay.
after.
All right.
Uh, but
Oh yeah,
you know, I now I had gotten rid of all the other vices, and now the only vices that were left were the ones that are more acceptable, which is like goes back to the. Then I keep going back to the same thing. It's not the vice that's the issue here. It's
No.
me, you
Right.
know, and I could relate on that. But of course, I didn't do sexual crimes, and I don't. Thank God, but I could see how just not accepting it as a man, like, okay, there's better things that you can be doing, because it gets to a point where you want more and then more and then more, and one thing doesn't satisfy you, and then you start looking for those thrills. That's the same thrill that I seeked when
Yeah.
I was using drugs. You know, it's
Right.
that little
It's
thrill that you get
like a
inside of you.
serial killer.
Yes, some
Yeah.
and like some people do it with killing people, which is crazy. You know, that's a whole other thing. But like what's the root of all this issue? You know, is that it's that lack of self work. You know, where you like I was telling Enzo and my therapist that I was like fucking playing whack a mole with vices. You know, like we
Hey,
fucking
my
whack
boy.
one and we fucking whack one, and then the other one comes out, and you're like, damn, dude, like
Yeah,
so.
I was doing that as well. I go from I'd stop, drinking. I would stop drinking, but then there were, other vices that I would get into, and it
Yeah,
just I had to fix myself mentally in order, to stop those vices and
yeah,
keep myself, entertained with good things, things that
yes.
benefit my life and not, hinder it.
You know what they
Do you?
call it? I learned it. The small doses of dopamine from a lot of little things. Like I
Mm-hmm.
had to get used to getting little small good feeling hits instead of one big good feeling hit, and it would ruin me for the rest of the day. You know, one, like okay, I cleaned my room, it felt good. I like
Mm-hmm.
and I'm training myself. Okay, I'll go walk in the park, or at this hour I'm gonna go do this, and then like I kind of start hyping myself up, you know, like, hey, I did this. Like, I got it done to someone, maybe turn it in a paper, at the courthouse, or wherever, legal paper or something, mail. You know, it might not be a big deal, but I mean, you could kind of trick your brain into yeah, like like you're getting the high in little small doses, and it's just continuing. You know,
Right.
Do
that's
you
what
feel
really
like you
helped me
guys
out.
are susceptible to different vices, like the way your brain is set up? Because you said you leave
Yeah,
one and you go
yeah.
to another one, and then you leave that and you go to another one. Like, could that be related to like maybe I don't want to say you're weak minded, but something in there is just telling you like I need something to.
So part of it is the ADHD and trying to cope with having this malfunction in my brain and constantly finding something that makes me feel all right, you know? And
Hmm.
a lot of people with undiagnosed disorders do it a lot because you don't have a medication, or you're not consciously dealing with something, you know, as you should. And so like if you have a problem and you haven't acknowledged it yet, your body's going to be stressed and it's going to want something, you know? And if you're not addressing the problem, well, the stress is still going to be there. And so now you get caught in a loop where you're you're reacting to the stress, and now you found yourself using substances for someone what it's what they had in reach at that moment, you know, or what's socially
Hmm.
acceptable for them. For some people, they never touch weed, they never touch coke, but they drink a lot. Or for some people, like they like to shop and stuff like that. So, like, it sometimes it goes down to how you grew up too, and how open you are to trying other
Yeah,
things. You know?
yeah. And I think
I think.
well,
Oh,
go ahead, go ahead.
I think. Yeah, I think for me, I mean, that's why I guess I train so much, and go to the gym because my mind just wanders. I don't know why. Like, I get sad and I just, for no reason, life is good and I just can't explain it. Just, once in a while, I'm like, it's more of I guess of a mind fuck, a personal mind fuck. I know I'm good. I know I have, family around me that loves me. My wife loves me, but, I have to keep myself entertained. And the best way to keep myself entertained is to get myself so tired so when I get home I don't have to think about shit. I just get there and obviously I'm not killing myself, but
Yeah,
I get to a level where I can deal with with family, my wife, work, and and then but when I go to work, I know a lot of people they go to work and they say it's oh I don't have to work out because
Manual labor.
it's manual labor, but you're draining yourself mentally. So when I think of it, when I go to the gym, I'm freeing myself mentally. I'm not draining myself mentally. I'm draining myself
yeah,
physically, but I'm freeing myself mentally from all the bullshit that I think about. Just if I were to be sedentary, and because if I stay sedentary, my mind just starts with the what ifs and
Mm,
it just starts it goes to a bad place. I mean, I don't know
yeah.
why. I can't explain it. Obviously, I've gotten better at it, and I keep getting better and grow from it. But it's just one of those things. Like I can't explain. It's there,
Just
but
like there's positive vices, there's bad vices, and I think that's one of your
right.
positive vices that
hmm
keeps you
Definitely.
away from the bad ones. And Daniel's positive vices are, going to school, going to
Yeah,
work, just
hobbies,
keeping
hanging out with
busy.
friends, hanging out with friends that don't do that stuff. Um, volunteering,
That's good. It's positive.
volunteering. I think volunteering has been at times it's something that gets on my nerves sometimes, but I remember I remember the times that people made an impact in my life and how I always thought that everybody talked it, but nobody did shit. Everybody complained about shit.
Yeah.
Everybody, but at least I can say, man. And when I go, when I'm in my deathbed or whatever, man, I could say I feel that I did something, and I could feel that maybe it was a little small change, but I think like finding something that you want to help in, or fucking let's at least something that you want to do, like let's like for you, it's like okay, you're gonna set a few hours to teach, like get one free client like to give to learn teach them how to do exercise,
Right.
and that's you giving back to the community, in your own way so that you can have fun.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be like fucking don't go clean a church if you don't want to go clean a church, man. You're gonna be hating,
Yeah,
you're
you're
like,
gonna do
man,
something
fuck
you,
this
yeah,
church,
you love.
you
You
know
think that.
not saying they're bad or anything, but like just go so you can do it really wholeheartedly, and you're like, oh, okay, this is what
Yeah.
people do after you get everything, or
Yeah.
Right.
because
That makes sense, but like training somebody, like I'm sure it could get frustrated too because you have,
yeah,
you're there
yes,
mentally 100% trying to train this person, and they're, goofing around or
yeah,
half-assing it. And you're like, nah, like
yeah,
that's not how we're gonna do this.
yeah,
You're either with
yeah.
me or you're
So
not.
yeah.
Right.
So
That's why I tend to try to lead more by example, and they see how hard I train, and that what inspires them. Like it was a good thing that happened that we went to go. We hang out with my sister at the pool, the casino, and then my sister's boyfriend, his son actually was like, "Hey, does Ivan work out every day?" I guess because he saw my muscles, and
Yeah.
not to be cocky or anything, but he saw my muscles, and that kind of felt good, because I that might inspire him to want to work out and want to train, make himself better. That it
Yeah.
made me feel good.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of impact that I want to make, definitely.
Yeah. That's good. Um,
yeah, keep
so,
adding, keep add
so
something.
another thing that happened in Vegas, I know a lot of people think because we're brothers and we have podcasts and we're always around each other that everything's probably always a okay. That there's always, we're always getting along, everything's all dandy, but in reality, it's not. And I would like to talk about that too. I know it might be awkward, but this is what we're here for, right? I know you guys had a little disagreement where you were here, and I wanted to address that. Um, my mom kind of told me what it was, but you know how she explains everything, she gets a little wild. So what happened? What happened in the car? Let's get to it.
All right, all
Each
right. I'll
one
tell
tell
you.
their story, and then
I'll tell you. All
I'm
right,
gonna be the middle. I'm not. There's no side picking. We're just here to hear the story and show people that
Right.
we're not perfect. We're just like you. Three brothers. You guys think we get along all the time, but it's not like that. It's not sunshines and rainbows. Go ahead, Daniel.
all right. So I'm like, I guess I already had this like whole mentality that like sometimes I like to do things for my mom and go to Vegas, and that's why I was there, and I just want to relax sometimes, and I have a difficult time fucking navigating my own life, navigating life, so like sometimes I get stressed out. We were in the car and then like I just sense a lot of negative, a lot of negative reactions, and I'm a positive person. I just try to make the best of everything, and sometimes think I know that we all function differently. We all function differently. We all do it a different ways differently. So like I just get frustrated and I just shut down, because obviously my mom has her way of being, my sister has her way of being, and my brother has his way of being,
Okay, but
and
let's
I
tell the
feel
people. Let's go in detail because the people don't know what
okay,
you were
okay,
doing. So you were
okay, yeah, yeah.
driving.
So I'm driving the fucking whip, and I'm stoned, and we're trying
Okay,
to get to the
so
pool, and there's a lot
problem
of
number
fucking
one: you're
construction.
stoned. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Go.
yeah, and I guess in my defense, I'm gonna act like vacation stone, because I'm just chilling. So, um, we had decided that I was gonna drive, but there's a lot of fucking construction in Vegas, so we are fucking driving around, and I had to make another turn. Didn't make the turn, and there was no way to get into the hotel without me having to navigate through traffic because of the construction, right? So get
Yeah.
in there and everything, and then my sister, um, tends to be more like on the moody side, so sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
she was already being moody to him. So I heard it over the phone and I was like, oh God, here we go, dude. I was like,
Yeah.
fuck, there's going to be a few hours of this. So I was like, okay. So I was like, all right, whatever. So I started getting agitated already. And that's when I already make the decision. All right. So we're putting the stuff away. And then to get into the pool. And then I don't know, I said something and then my brother, the way he reacted was like, just like, all right, whatever, like, let's keep going. And I was like, all right, like, I'm good. I just want to go, you know.
Like he was
Feel
rushing
like
it.
I didn't have him fun. Yeah.
Like he
When
was
we already,
rushing it.
yeah, when we
Yeah.
already got there, that we
You
were
can
hanging
you can
out
say what he
in my
said. Let's
head.
keep it real. Don't hold
Like,
back. Let's keep it real.
no,
It
no,
is
no.
what it
Well,
is.
he no, he didn't
So,
say anything bad. I just can't remember it. But what I felt
okay.
from it was that it was dismissive. So that's when I was just
Dismissive.
like,
Okay.
yeah, that's when I was just like, ah, man, like, it makes it hard to be somewhere. So I was just like, all right, I just need to go. In those moments where you don't want to say anything anymore, and you just like, you need a moment because of your own things that you have happening in your life, and you don't want to say anything more. But you
Yeah.
just can't be there at the moment, so you just gotta. And so I just said, like, all right, I'm leaving. Just hit me up when you need a ride, and I'll come scoop you up. It wasn't like I was ditching him or anything. He was gonna be there with my sister, and it was like, all right, cool. Van a estar en bola ellos. And I'll go do something myself because I was like, me gusta otra onda. I'm my own. I'm my own.
Yeah.
I run on a different clock. And we all see a good time differently. So um, yeah, that's my.
Okay. My mom made it seem like it was a little worse than that when she was yelling at me on the phone. But okay, Ivan, what was your side of the story? Let's see.
Okay, so my sister has her she has, let's keep it real, she has her issues, and she has her way of thinking and the way she does things. And my brother, he's the more relaxed. And but the way the situation was, she was already nagging, and I'm at the point in my life where I know, I understand everybody's different, and I want to kind of adjust to everybody. I don't want to be stubborn and just want to be set in my ways, because that's not right either. I can't.
Yeah.
So I was trying to, kind of diffuse the situation, but then my sister's calling me, kind of yelling at me and trying to hurry me up, and I kind of, told her, hey, what, okay, there's stuff, situations happen. Like, she needs to realize that, not everything's gonna go her way, because she kind of thinks, that she kind of runs things. That's just the way she is. I mean,
Yeah.
so
Leader.
yeah, so I mean, she was already nagging, and then what I had, Danny, my brother, just he was yelling stuff at her too, and I was kind of like, why? There's no need for that. I mean, the
Yeah.
situation's already aggravated.
But previous, we got our own beef. We got our own. Just
Yeah.
like,
Hey,
we got.
let him
It's the
finish
some
his story.
setter. Yeah.
Let him finish
Right.
his story. Yeah.
And so and my brother, he still wanted to smoke, because he was gonna leave the stuff in the vehicle, because they were gonna check our
Yeah.
bags. So I was kind of like, hey, let's go. I think you kind of smoked enough.
Yeah.
because
Which
because
he
of the
did.
whole situation. I already understand
Yeah.
my sister, and I just kind of wanted to hurry up, but then I kind of felt like
Yeah.
he got mad at me for hurrying me up. So he told me, like, I'm gonna just leave. I was like, oh, okay, I'm not gonna argue with the bro, and if you don't feel comfortable, then go ahead and leave. It's fine. It's fine. I did kind of feel like he abandoned me a little bit, because I kind of
Yeah.
feel like he got mad at me for rushing him, but I wasn't rushing him to rush him. I understand he's more laid back. He has his way of his way of doing things as well. Just the way the situation was, and I have to. My sister has to understand a little bit more that, and not everybody functions the same, and I
Yeah.
understand people are different, but it's not always gonna go her way, and think just like that. So
Yeah.
that's
Things are
how.
gonna happen.
And I think the whole point of it is like a lack of communication. Like, like, I think if to me, listen to me, I'm driving, and if they don't tell me what the deal is, like, to me, like, she just like, it's walkable right there. So like whatever's gonna happen to where we need to go in there, it's gonna be able like no hay pedo, you know, we're all just chilling, drinking, whatever. So that's what in my head sound like otro ball, you know, or
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
that's
like
all
I'm
you
just
think
chilling
is otro
already.
bowl, otro bowl. Your
yeah,
whole
yeah,
life is a
yeah.
bowl.
And,
Yeah,
and I get that, you know, and I get
yeah,
that, but at the same time, I want my brother to learn that, you know, not especially when he goes out, you know, to the world, you know, to the corporate world or wherever whatever he's gonna do. Not everybody's gonna be as, you know, as chill. They're gonna want him to
Yeah,
move faster.
yeah,
I just want him to
yeah,
understand that.
yeah,
I don't want him, you know, I don't want him to get aggravated at me. I don't want him to get mad at me. I just want him to
yeah,
understand, you know, that the world is a little bit
yeah,
different. I know he's self-employed. You know, he works at his pace. You know, delivering groceries and whatnot.
yeah,
But I just want him to realize that, you know, it's not a knock on him. Like it's just the way he is, and I get it. But just the situation at hand, like just,
yeah.
you know, I didn't want it to escalate.
yeah,
And I think part of it is because like I worked in the restaurant for a long time and I had to not take shit, dude, because porque nunca me dejé, but just follow orders the way someone wants to run the restaurant, and
Okay.
that's the fucking way, you know, or that's the way, you know. I've worked for a dairy farm, or I've worked for numerous places that I
Mm-hmm.
felt so fucking unfair, and I think that gets projected, you know, and just having someone just like hurry me up. I was like, man, like I leave these traumatic experience jobs, you know, that put that in your psyche, you know. So it's
yeah,
like it brings it back, and it's not at my brother's, not at my sister or anything. It's just like I've also had like if I don't I measure, I guess the way I walk around Earth is like I measure the importance of these events that are happening in my life. So I'm like, okay, this one's the most important, so I really got to focus on this one. So it's like school, and then the next one is work, so I could have money, and then the next one is my hobby, so I could be all right, you know, and then all that other stuff, and then the last one is like hanging out, you know, hanging out or like chilling. So to me, it's like, why is the hanging out, chilling, feeling like I'm fucking working or like following rules? But I get it. Of course, we have
yeah,
to. We're all together in one place, and that's what I felt. I feel what I got for myself is like, if I'm gonna be all together in one place, well, we're all gonna be together. And I guess everybody, I'm gonna have to not succumb entirely, but just like, all right, navigate through it and find ways to jump the obstacles, you know, of
yeah.
whatever's
Well, like
coming
Ivan
up.
said, we all got different personalities. We all got different ways of thinking of stuff. Um, and as the same as Ivan was trying to hurry up the process, you doing another bowl doesn't feel like you're thinking about others as well, right?
Yeah, yeah,
In a sense, yeah.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
like I think we all got stuff we can work on. It's just
yeah,
we're
I,
gonna have
I
these
think, you know,
fights, but I think it's best like talking about it. Like
yeah,
that's something that Dom has really brought it to my attention is talking about it at that moment and not letting it go to it creates this awkwardness, right? So if at that moment you and Yvonne sat there and just said, "Okay, what's going on? What's the problem?" He's like, "Well, Gina's hurrying
yeah.
me up, and you're fucking here smoking your bowl." I said, "Okay, you know what? I don't need to do the bowl. I don't need to do that right now, and we'll
right.
go. All right, we're already late. I already got sidetracked by traffic or whatever. So you're right. Let's put this away. I'll come back in an hour to the car, and I'll do my little bowl ski or whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it's just the way
So yeah.
that could be better.
See, I
I
wasn't
think.
even thinking that far. See, you know, I wasn't even thinking that far.
And I think, you know, it's definitely boundaries. There has to be boundaries in families. I know, especially Hispanic families, you know, families, they like to get away with shit that, you know, that they wouldn't let other people get away with, you know, outside the
Yeah,
family. So there has to be, like you said, that communication, because if you don't talk about it, you know, if you don't talk about, you know, what upsets you, or you know, this kind of upset me, or you know, you have to learn those boundaries, because you have to learn to respect those boundaries as well. And of course, you know, boundaries can, you know, kind of, you know, you can go here and there, just like I know the way he is, like, you know, I know the way my sister is, I know the way I am. Kind of have to
yeah,
adjust to each other. You know, we can't just be set in our ways and be stubborn, you know. And a lot of times people don't talk about things, and it boils up and becomes a bigger issue.
okay,
So
yeah, I agree. Let's take a little break, a little 30-second break.
okay.
We're back. I had to take a little pee pee break real quick. All right. So what did we learn from that, Daniel? Did we learn anything?
Yeah, dude. I just can't be like, just be mindfulness.
Yeah.
Mindfulness.
Okay, we'll
So
change the subject then.
moving on, I guess.
Moving on. So how was Vegas? Ivan, are you getting ready to move? When are you coming?
I'm actually moving on the first. I should be there around noon. Packing everything tomorrow. Good to go. I got the truck today, so ready to make that move, and ready to start a new life over there, and maybe better opportunities with the wifey, and just have more of a better relationship with you. Obviously, we're gonna be
Yeah.
closer. It's been a while since we've lived close to each other and close to Dom too. So just get that rapport and relationship going, and just enjoy Vegas for what it is. I mean, there's plenty to do there over there. There's
Yeah.
a lake, there's a desert, so plenty of stuff to do besides the strip. Definitely.
What made you want to move? What was the final verdict that you said, okay, I want to move? Because
Well, I
I know
mean,
a lot of people are moving right now. I want to
mhm.
see what's on their mind.
Well, California is becoming questionable. Everything's prices going up on everything. Mr. Gavin Newsom is he's not actually running the state pretty well.
Yep.
But I just seen there's more opportunities there. And then when I was stationed there, and the last couple times that I've gone over there, it's felt like home. I mean, when I've lived here, I mean, it just I don't know, it just the I don't know the people here. They like to hate on each other. I just more I don't know. There's mucha envidia aquí. No sé por qué.
Yeah.
A lot of envy here for no reason. I mean, just in general. I mean, and my wife, she wanted to start a new life as well, and there's just more opportunities out there, and just when I was stationed out there, I had a good time. And we're actually thinking about we're thinking about moving to New York City,
Jesus
but
Christ.
we yeah, I mean that's
Why?
pretty
Why New
far,
York?
and
What made that?
I don't. I've when the first. I mean, the first and only time I went, it was a city where everybody just kind of kept it real, and then there was no time for bullshit. I just you would go to a
Yeah.
store, people that are like kind of like, what do you want? I mean, there wasn't a fakeness there that I feel in California and here in the
Yeah.
Valley or some spots that you go to. So, but obviously that's far, and my wife has never left the Imperial Valley to move somewhere else. I mean, she's lived away before, but never really
Yeah.
gone. So, I think it was more of a kind of maybe try it out and see how we like Vegas, and we might stay, we might not. So, I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Daniel, what about you? You coming to Vegas?
No, I'm trying to get my bachelor's degree, so I needed to get it off the coast of California before I go.
all right.
Fuck that, dude.
How
Okay.
long do
Hey.
you have?
2 more years? No, three more years.
And are
I
you
get-
planning
I
on
get-
moving once you're done?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
To
100%.
Vegas, or you
It's gonna
got
have to.
something else on your mind?
No, probably Vegas. Probably
Vegas,
Vegas, but I
Vegas.
still need to see where the master's program is going to be, or if I could do it. I don't know.
Plenty of schools out there,
Yeah.
bro. Plenty of
So I'm
opportunities in any industry.
Yeah. So hopefully, for now, I'm gonna milk California before I go until they don't give me any school aid or anything like that. Then I'm like, all right, cool. That's it.
Yeah.
Till the illegals take it all or what?
Yeah.
Bastard.
This guy, Jesus,
Keep it
Trump
real.
speech is
Keep
coming
it
in.
real. Sorry.
Keep it
Sorry.
100, 100.
That's right.
What do you think about your vice president, Kamala Harris?
Oh, we're going there, huh?
Is she?
I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Look at the nonsense she spews on TV. She makes a fool out of herself. I mean, what am I gonna say? She does it on her own. I can't.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to be one that's I never talk about bad about our presidents and our vice president, but it's the results speaks for themselves. And
Yeah.
folks that are, I think it's a lot of a case where folks are just uneducated and they go with what people tell them, or what's popular and whatnot. So I mean, just all I can say is do your research, check out their history, and make your decision from there.
And make
I'm
your
not going to
decision.
tell you to vote for this person and that person, because they're all criminals at the end of the day. They're all they all want what's best for them and their buddies. So I can only do what's best for me and mine and my family, and help out others as well. And other than that, I mean, like I said, do your research.
Yeah, I feel you. Daniel, what do you? I know you follow a lot of the smart stuff. Why do you feel like there's a lack of people running for presidents that are actually like qualified for being president?
Yeah, so-
You
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Whoever Daniel's thinking about it.
Because it's a job that nobody wants. it's an impossible job. I mean, you're dealing with other countries, you're dealing with our nation, you're dealing with so many things that there's only so much time in the day. I mean, Joe Rogan has
Yeah.
said this a lot that that it's an impossible job for one person to do because of the fact that it's so difficult. I mean, that's what I can say.
Okay, I think that it's not available for just anything. No one. There's things that you have to do in your life to get there, and they're not good.
Right.
They're not good.
Right.
So
Okay, so you're saying like
anybody who's
some
To be a
underground stuff
to,
politician.
that they
to
gotta
be
do.
to, you have to lie to someone. You're gonna have to lie to
Well,
someone.
was
You're
Trump
gonna have
Trump
to.
ever a politician? Trump wasn't a politician.
They have.
No, but he's a businessman. The reason I like him is because he's a businessman. He and the if you're gonna run a country, you need to run it like a corporation, at least in my eyes. And you need to because you need to a business needs profits, right?
Yeah.
So and it needs for the citizens to prosper, not for him to prosper, for the citizens to prosper. That's what I mean as running as a business. And
And
if you don't
consider it
run it
like a
as a
business
business,
run by the people
correct?
in
Yes.
a sense.
So right.
But
Okay,
then
that
you
makes
have the socialism kind of like kind of coming in because everybody's it's the people's business when the people's are the government. But so there needs to be a clear distinguish of who is in power because it seems like it's more of an institution, rather than someone.
Mhm.
And I feel like it goes back to saying to the same things that we were saying. You have to. It's like a grooming process too to become a politician because your family has to be into it. And what kind of people had their families come and work for an institution? Usually it was royal people,
Mhm.
so it's like I think you have to really be into that. And once you get to certain levels of all of that, I think now there's things that you're gonna have to know, you know and there's a lot of fucked up shit, especially when you're dealing with America. There's a lot of fucked up shit within here, happening in the country at all times, and then the people outside that want to take control of the state. Everybody's always working against each other, spying on each other, doing this. So like, I think it's just such an exclusive position, only held for certain few. That's why you never see anybody who's actually qualified, because it sucks to say, but they're not in it for us. And
I
that's the
mean,
big
Yeah.
joke. That's the big fucked up thing that we don't want to we don't want to just say, because it's sad. And you come to a
Yeah.
country, and there's the same kind of corruption and greed. It's just the streets are cleaned and stuff, and it's a lot better. But there's I guess different levels to it. But going back to the question, you have to do some pretty weird stuff to get. Not like I'm saying weird, not in a fucking conspiracy theory way, but you have to be into socializing to an extreme degree. I feel
You have to
like
be
because
able
they're
to
not just gonna
lie
pick
to
you.
people in their face.
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah, and
because
that's
you're
not
not you
something everyone can
can
do.
never satisfy everyone. There's always going to be somebody that's
Yeah.
"No, and why are they doing this? And why are this? And why is it not benefiting me?" I mean, we're a capitalist country. If you don't work for your shit, then you shouldn't complain about shit, because that's the way it's been. That's the way, so all these people that are just, take away from the rich and give to the poor. I mean, I get it, but what are
Yeah.
they doing themselves to benefit their lives? Are they just sitting around, or are they actually, trying, working at it every day, going, following the struggle, as we have? So I mean, there's no there's no clear cut answer, but I mean that job is oof, it's
Yeah. So I've seen a couple of shows on like presidents, but they're like not reality shows, like just shows on TV on Netflix. And you know, those shows depict the president making all the decisions, right? Of course, he talks to people and they come up with the best decision, but at the end of the day, it's his decision, right, to make. Looking at Biden and the way he is, I don't feel like he's making the decisions. I feel like there's people behind him making the decisions for him. Is is that you guys feel all presidents are like that, or Biden's a special case, or do you don't, or you think Biden does make those decisions?
I mean, look at Biden. He can barely talk. He's barely audible. I mean, he falls almost every other. I mean, not almost every other day, but
What did they do with President Roosevelt? Nobody knew that he had polio.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nobody knew that he had polio.
It's just that they're
Because what are they gonna think?
it's because they're as it's run as there's a lot of corporate entities. And there's a lot of money. That's what money does. Money influences people. Like, hey, do this for me. So I mean, unless there's somebody that's genuinely honest and genuinely pure, I mean, you can't. I mean, just money talks so much. It influences a lot of things, unfortunately.
Mhm.
So do
Hey,
you
I
do
was
you,
always
do you
think
guys feel like somebody's making the decisions behind the presidents, or it's the presidents,
No,
or is
I
Biden a
think
special case?
no, he's not a special case, but you can see it like more.
who are they?
It's more clear,
You could see who they're endorsed by.
right?
Who's
Yeah.
giving the endorsements usually, or pharmacies giving usually pharmacies are giving a lot of
Just I
money.
mean, just look at the whole COVID thing. I mean, that itself. I mean, there was a lot of people who profited from that. Not us.
Yeah,
We got
yeah,
fucked. Small businesses got fucked.
yeah,
There were certain people that were they got a lot of money from it, and that's just the way it is. Not not in a good way.
yeah. I would just like to know. I wish they kept it more real. Like, who's making
Mm.
these damn decisions?
Hey,
Keep it real.
well, I think
Let
a
us know.
crazy part. I don't know. It's like there's the conspiracy that there's some sick entities taking hold of enslaving humanity using money. And I think that I think it's a crazy thought, and it's a fantasist.
Mhm.
It's not far fetched though.
Yeah, but
It's
that's what I'm
not.
saying.
Yeah.
It's when I look around, I'm like, damn, because you just asked me the question, how do you get to be president? Mm.
Well, I mean,
Who do you got to fuck a lot of people? That's
Yeah.
what you got to do a lot of dirt,
Yeah,
and so like, what does that mean? That it's not exclusive to us. So that there's people who are in charge of us. So who's in charge?
that dirt could be
Who's flying the ship?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
dirt could be a variety of
Exactly.
things. It could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that, but that's like we don't want to think that's just fucking aliens juicing you. But it could be in a sense that we're falling to our own greed, to the point that we might be lost trying to get a profit from our fellow human, rather than, I guess, putting all the effort in a perfect world. You'd put all the effort, all the funds, and into things that actually matter. But there was a post on a news article that I saw that said the U.S. is, hold on, I'll pull it up. The U.S. is underprepared for war, for weaponry, and the immediate thought that I got, not like, oh wow, like we need to get more money. I was like, these bastards are probably like, fucking tell them that we don't got enough, so we can get more.
I mean,
Yeah.
war is a
Yeah.
business.
So that's
War-
what that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Sorry.
why there's sadly, I don't think there's ever going to be peace
Mhm.
in the world
Yeah,
because
definitely.
there was too much profit in the war.
Mhm.
Look at all the wars going on. Look at we're selling weapons to Israel. We're selling weapons to Ukraine. All that type of things. It's so profitable. Even President was it Eisenhower. He talked about the military industrial complex. If you guys want to look that up, and he talked about it. It's pretty much saying that there would be no peace because of so much profit in military and sales and things of that nature.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
The
Go
article
ahead, Daniel.
goes like this. U.S. grossly unprepared for war. A bipartisan commission found that current U.S. strategy leaves the U.S. unprepared for a major war. Every 4 years, the president lays out national security vision. The Defense Department then creates a strategy to achieve it, and Congress orders a bipartisan committee to assess it and report. So
So, but
you got
when it
people.
says we're not ready for war, what does that mean financially, or like we don't have? Well, I know it's all financially because we don't have enough weapons, we don't have enough soldiers. Like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Or we're just lack of technology?
Or like the way I see it is like, okay, the public isn't going to give you funds because everybody's truly against war. So how are we going to get it? By scaring people into thinking we don't have enough. So then they could spend it, they can make their factories or, and start
Yeah.
producing these weapons, because if there's no demand, then why would they fulfill it? And you have the government contracts, people contracted by the government typically by people in the government. So you read it and it's like, well, the government is saying that we're unprepared for war. They're still part of the institution. It doesn't matter if there's some fucking committee or not.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So that's what I thought of it. You know, it wasn't like I got scared. Like, oh my goodness, we're not prepared for war. I think that that's something that we invest in a lot, and I think that everybody knows what the deal. Everybody knows what the fuck's going on. You know, everybody we got our own assets.
I think
here.
I mean, nobody's ever going to attack us. I mean, I think our citizens have more weapons than any other, I think, nation in the world. So no one's going to attack us. That's why they're trying to destroy us from the inside. They're trying to, make us fight each other. So I think when they say that we're not prepared for war, I think it's because we're so busy fighting over bullshit, little things here and there, and obviously, this presidency has, neglected the military, and because we do need protection. I mean, people want to destroy this nation. They're jealous of this nation. Look at China. China wants to be the United States pretty much, and they're trying to get, they're trying to do everything in their power to steal our technology. Obviously, it's still shitty. So, I mean, look at North Korea. I mean, there is evil out there. That's North what folks do not understand.
He says he doesn't poop.
Yeah.
Kim Jong-un says he doesn't poop.
What is he, a woman?
No, that's what I'm saying. Prove it.
I say somebody goes and smells his ass. I bet you it smells like shit.
But he doesn't have a butthole.
Imagine he kills anybody.
It's just
poops
flat.
out of his mouth. Poops out of his mouth because he's always talking that masa.
Yeah, definitely talking that masa.
All right, we'll end it on that note. Just want to let the people know, if you got any questions for us, you can ask us on Instagram or TikTok. Just shoot your questions. We'll answer them on the show. If you got any questions for Daniel, Ivan, or me, just go ahead and do that. We'll answer them. We appreciate you guys listening. We're back. Sorry we took a week off, but we had some stuff we had to tend to. But we're officially back. My brother will be in Vegas soon, so we'll have our little setup here. Daniel will still be in El Centro. But we appreciate you guys for listening. Thank you. See you guys later.
Ask questions. We love you guys.
Have a good night.
Too. All right.
Peace.
Got drinks, got smoke, got weed, got all the girls, got everything we need. And I see them all, but who brought the fat? Drink another, smoke another, get retarded. I know this where the party is, so get this bitch started. And if you want some liquor, girl, you can go and lick a girl. Get in it, pop into like 6 in the morning.